I didn't want to play in Buffalo because I didn't know if the owner was dedicated to bring a championship here. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew I didn't want to play for those three teams. But instead I went to the Houston Gamblers in the USFL, played 2 years there. The league folded, but to be honest with you guys, the best decision I ever made in my life was becoming a Buffalo Bill in 1986. We have the greatest owner who's going into the Hall of Fame right now. The guy who's kept that team around here, has built this team, and best decision I ever made. But the whole thing, guys, and why I'm telling you this, why I told you about Penn State, why I told you about backup and working hard. Trust me, every single guy in this room, you're going to be confronted with something that's not going to go the way you want it. Something negative is going to happen in your life, guaranteed. Probably not once, probably not twice, probably about 3 or 4 times. Something is not going to go the way you want it. But the bottom line is, guys, don't feel sorry for yourselves. Do something about it. Too many people, when something goes wrong, they say, oh man, I can't believe it. They let it bum them out. They get down on themselves. They let their friends get them down. Don't let it bum you out. Learn from it and move on. Penn State, good example. I wanted to play for them. Didn't work out. Went to Miami. Worked hard. Now I'm 5th string. I could easily, fold it and said, you know what, I'm not going to do this. But no, I hung on. I kept on working as hard as I could. I became a backup. All you ask is for an opportunity to let the coaches know that you can play. Some of us have great athletic ability to begin with. Some of us are not the greatest athletes in the world. I never was the greatest athlete in the world. I played basketball, I played baseball, I was never, my little small town, I was better than anybody. But throughout the country, once you go to college, everybody's exactly the same. When I went to Miami, everybody, their numbers were retired. They were all state. But it's what you put into it is what counts. Every individual, trust me, something isn't going to go right. But it's what you do about it. It's what counts. My senior year, blew out my shoulder. What did I do? I worked hard, rehab, got it back. Was a 1st-round draft pick. Was drafted by the Bills. I went to USFL. Come back and wound up playing for the Buffalo Bills. First Super Bowl, a dream come true for me. How many kids, when probably when you were younger, dropped back and you were, whether it was Dan Marino or Randall Cunningham or Herschel Walker, some of these great running backs and wide receivers, pretend you were one of those guys. How many of you guys did that when you were little kids? And all those guys that did not raise their hands, you're lying. Some of you, whether it's baseball, basketball, you wore their number or you pretend like you were them. I was one of those guys. But see here, I dreamt about taking my team to the Super Bowl. I dreamt about playing the NFL. Here we are, Super Bowl 25, the Buffalo Bills against the New York Giants. I'm the quarterback. 2 minutes to go in the game. I'm the quarterback. I'm going to lead my team down the field and win a Super Bowl. I mean, who doesn't dream about win the World Series or NBA title or a Super Bowl? I did. And here it was, reality setting in. Lead my team, a handoff to Thurman Thomas. Pass to Andre Reed, a scramble up the middle. James Lofton on the left side. We're in field goal range. Scott Norwood lines up. I know he's going to make this. He kicks it. It sails wide right. We lose. Devastating? You better believe it. Heart-wrenching? Definitely. But one thing we did do, we did not give up. We learned from it. We went back. We went back. We did it 4 times in a row, guys. We didn't win, but I'll tell you what. We never, ever gave up. Negative things happened, but we learned from them. We kept moving on. We tried to attain the ultimate. Even though we did not win the Super Bowl, we never gave up. Those are some negative things that happen in your life. It's what you do about it. To get back or to get that opportunity to do it. I'm telling you guys, whether it's in football, basketball, baseball, whether it's in life in general, whether it's that job you wanted, and if you get fired, and trust me guys, you're going to go through times in your life, it's not going to be very good. But think about what I said. I don't care if it's in sports or in the real world. It's going to happen. For me, I retired from the Buffalo Bills in 1996. A game that I played ever since I was a little kid. My wife at the time was pregnant. And 2 weeks later, after I announced my retirement, I had a son born on Valentine's Day, my birthday. Talk about a proud father. I had a son born on my birthday. I dreamt about coming in this room, having my son sitting in the stands, just like you guys are today, playing football, running out on that football field. But my son was diagnosed with a fatal disease. He passed away at the age of 8 years old. I could easily felt sorry for myself, I could easily did nothing about it. I could easily walked away and said, you know what? We tried. It didn't work. My son's now in heaven. I didn't do that. Our foundation is now pressing on. We are going to make the difference for other kids. We're going to give other kids a chance to dream. That was another negative in my life. Things just don't work out. But I never felt sorry for myself. I always wanted to make something positive out of a negative. As I look around this room, I already watched some of you guys. We got some great athletes out here. Keep trying to get better, guys. As I broke up with you guys earlier, before, I want you guys to get better. You came here today, and I know some of you guys are unbelievable athletes. Never think that you can't get better. When Jim Schaffner came in here as a coach, after we already been to 3 Super Bowls, I wanted to learn. I said, Coach, don't think just because we're running to know how do I know it all. I continued to want to learn. And he kept teaching me, because you never should ever think that you already know it all. And I know sometimes you hear your parents' heart and you hear your coach's heart. They're doing it for a reason, to make you better. And one of the things I try to tell the younger kids, and you guys probably all should be to this point or beyond, never ever do it just because the coach is telling you to do it. It's very easy, and I tell my nephew this all the time. It's very easy for you to do it when me, as a coach, tells you to get out there and you run your sprints if you're a sprinter, you practice your starts, you practice your follow through once you get through the line. As a quarterback, you do your 3, your 5, your 7-step drops. Receiver, coming across. If you're waiting for your coach, or if you're waiting for your dad to tell you to get out there and work on it, you'll never make it. Guarantee you will never make it big time. It's what you do when the coaches don't watch. It's what you do on your own. My dad, at the beginning when I was little, had to tell me to get out and do things. As I got older, as I started looking at what I wanted to do with my life, he no longer had to tell me to go out there and shoot free throws for basketball. In high school, I was 86% free throw shooter because I practiced all the time. Quarterbacking, I practiced my 3, my 5-step drop all the time. My dad didn't have to tell me to do that. My dad didn't have to keep on harking on me. My high school football coach, which you guys met last night, did not have to keep on me to do things because I wanted to do it. Every person in this room, I'm sure, and not everybody's going to do it. Probably most of you guys will not make it to the NFL. But what you do from this point on to make it into college, to get that education, that's what it's about. Get that education first. Because when that doctor told me, when I blew my right arm, they inserted 3 metal rods in my right shoulder, they told me I'd never play football again, first thing he said, I hope you study. Because you want to make sure you have something to fall back on. I think it's 3% of all college football players make it into the NFL, 3%. I think it's like 0.0224 make it into the Hall of Fame. And I think it's 0.0057. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but it's very rare that you go into the Hall of Fame as a first ballot. These are things that I never dreamt about the Hall of Fame. I dreamt about playing pros. It's a good thing to dream, guys. Trust me. It's awesome. You dream about playing baseball. You dream about playing football. But there's other things to dream about too, guys. So what I'm trying to get across to you, young men, is, there's times where, you're going to, whatever the case may be, you wake up one day, you just don't feel like getting out there and doing it. Sometimes dig deep down inside. Think about what you want to do with your life. Think about if you want to make it to that next level. Think about if you want to play Division I football, even if it's not. If it's for, ECC, whether it's for Slippery Rock, or whether it's for, UB, which is getting pretty good now. There's teams. Set goals for yourself. You never know. Anything's possible if you work at it. As long as when you become 25, 26 years old, and you're not playing anymore, and you have a family, and you look back and say, man, if I would just listen when I was 16, 17 years old, I might have made it. Trust me, guys, I've met a lot of kids with so much athletic ability that didn't have the right attitude. It's about attitude. It's about work ethic. I know on the back of your shirts it says that. It's the work ethic. How much you're willing to pay the price. How much you're willing to sacrifice. Because guaranteed, there's guys out there that are better. But not everybody has that big heart that's willing to pay the price and to work hard to make it.